back to the topic of social anxiety. I feel like you can divide this thing into like three categories. So the first category would be social anxiety, second category would be shyness, and the third category would be quiet. So there's people that's quiet, people that are shy, and people that actually have social anxiety. So my take on it is people that are quiet, like me. Like, I know for me, I just don't like small talk. And usually that's majority of the conversations now, especially with like technology around. And I'll get to that later. There was an interesting article that I want to share with you. But yeah, there's a bunch of just small talk. There's not really meaningful conversations going around. Unless if like, for me, like, if it's something that I enjoy, like I can talk for hours, like I said before. But most of the time, it's things that I don't necessarily know about or I don't keep track of, so it's hard to really have a conversation when only one person knows about it and the other person doesn't. I'm usually more open, so like if someone has an interest, like I'll look into it, see if I could potentially be interested. But it's usually not the other way around. It's like they don't necessarily care about like the things that like I'm interested in. So it's just like, okay, like it is what it is. Like I'm not mad at all. You have your things that you like, and I have mine. But so quiet would be more towards like the introverts. Like you don't necessarily have a problem like interacting with people in social situations. You either just like have nothing to say because you just don't have anything in common with people, or you choose to be alone. You like to have your own space and be around yourself. So like when you're around other people, it's kind of like different for you because like you want to have your own space and now you're sharing it with a bunch of other people. You kind of have to like interact with other people. So I would say like that would be the more towards the quiet side. Now the shyness side is a bit different. It's like you want to be around people, you want to have friends, you want to like hang out with people, meet new people, stuff like that, develop relationships, but you just necessarily like you lack the social skills to like really like talk and interact with people. That's how I feel like a lot of people are now with social media and technology. You don't necessarily have to like talk to people one on one. You could essentially just like you could just talk on your phone. You could text them. You could call them, but it's not the same as like talking in person. You can do video chat. Even that, it's still not the same because you're not necessarily like face to face with them. It's the closest thing you can do, but even then, it's not 100%. So they just have a problem like with their social skills. Like it's hard for them to like connect with people and like talk to them. There's like certain cues they may have. Like even for me, like certain cues, like let's say eye contact. Like there's people that I talk to that I don't necessarily keep eye contact. Like I don't. To me, like I don't like eye contact as much as like it's normal to do. Like I understand like it's normal to keep eye contact, but it just depends. Like sometimes I just don't like to keep eye contact with people, and that's just me. It's like I can talk to them fine. Like there's nothing wrong with like talking to people, even especially if it's like a good conversation going on. But like some people like just like completely avoid eye contact and just look away or look to the side or look down, and kind of it kind of comes off as like rude, like this person like doesn't really care or not interested. So and then like you just don't like talk anymore. Like it's kind of just over. You kind of sense that disconnect from the other person, and you kind of don't really talk. So like shy people kind of like stay in their like they kind of stay in their own bubble, but they want to like meet new people. It's just hard for them to kind of interact and have those social skills to use when they're in social situations. Now, social anxiety on the other hand, To me, I just define it as shyness magnified times 10, because it's essentially like a lot of things you'll see, it's literally the same thing. It's just that social anxiety will have a bigger effect on like your personal life. Like, shy people have like their group of friends, right? And like, if they went out in like a social situation and like they were with their friends, they would be okay for the most part. Like if they're around people they're comfortable with, and then they're like talking to other people, and especially like a topic comes up that they enjoy, like they'll be okay with that. Like it wouldn't be a problem. But like social anxiety is like you have a problem with like everything. Like you have a fear, like you have so much fear of just social situations. You avoid all social situations. Whereas shyness, like you don't necessarily avoid it. It's just hard for you. It's difficult for you to actually like interact with people, but you actually like would make an attempt. It's just hard for you. But social anxiety, you just have a fear of doing that because you all these thoughts are going in your head. You feel like people won't like you, that you will be judged very easily. If you say something stupid, people are just gonna look at you. Like all these different scenarios go in your head, even though they're unlikely, and even if they were likely and it did happen, it's not as bad as you think it is. So I just say it would be magnified times 10. But as you can see, if you look at each three categories, they all have very distinct similarities. So it would be hard to distinguish like which one you fit in, because they're all so similar. You may feel like you're at one side. You may feel like you have social anxiety, but really you're just quiet, or really you're just shy. You're just not good at talking with people. You see what I mean? No, it's hard to have that distinction. Like it could go either way. You can be comfortable one day, and then the next day you're like having like so much fear. Like it has to be consistent. It has to happen like consistently